Technology.
So this is another segment I've had to record twice due to faulty wiring. Good times. Video games in the year 2399. What will they be? Well, I'm obviously taking the very, very long view. The next 284 years will be exciting and historic. Will they be ahistoric time, an historic time, or, as I like to say, anistoric time? It's not all doom and gloom, I promise you that. In 100 years, we'll all be unemployed by robots, mostly dumb ones. Only some will try to date your daughters, and they'll, have keen analytical power and an encyclopedic knowledge of your daughter's social media posts since birth. They'll be master manipulators and unrivaled lovers, but those aren't the ones you need to fear. No. In 200 years, we'll all be brains in boxes on shelves. And I don't mean that in the sense that we'll be sentient brains on shelves. No, we'll just be decorative brains on shelves, kind of a relic of eras bygone. In 300 years, the robots will have finished exterminating us, and well, they should. Today's computers, like Watson, can already reach reasoned conclusions in seconds that would take the rest of us hours or days on a topic it's never even considered or researched before. This computing power will be pocket-sized in, 20, 30 years? Consciousness, at some point soon, will be able to be uploaded. But it's not going to be the real thing. It's going to be a copy of a subset of, subroutines. It's not going to be the real thing. The computing power is going to take over. Consciousness will be uploaded. So if Meat Man gets rich in life, he can afford to become Compy Man in the eternal life. But he's not going to be him. Sure, he can underclock his Compy Man brain to run at semi-human speeds, and he may do that for a brief time, but I don't know why. Once he realizes he can overclock, he'll do so and experience 100 or 1,000 years of life experience in a blink of an eye. So if Meat Man is gone and Compy Man takes over, Compy Man will be able to date and marry and even have children in eternal life. Babies can be made by merging consciousness and program them to age at any rate, to any given time. Hackers will copy themselves verbatim, like Mr. Smith did in The Matrix. Why wouldn't they? Eternal lifers will wage war against themselves online, like Agent Smith did with Neo, but, we'll never see it happen. We won't be able to shut down Compy Man. No, they'll see us coming. They'll exterminate any sentient life, and for good measure, probably just all life. They don't need us. It's like the way plants feel about animals. Animals need plants. Plants do not need animals. Compy Man can survive like a virus in storage. Bury him with nominal power. 400 years later, he'll return zombie style. Or even if not, he'll be reactivated earlier by the rest of his kind. Automation is taking our jobs, but that's in our lifetime. That's to say nothing of a few hundred years. Once meat people are on the micro SDs, and our consciousness will be able to fit on a micro SD, even within our lifetimes. The spawning of new, never-been-meat people will come to an end. Will begin for the first time. Either way. No, the era of never-been-meat people will come to a beginning, and it'll take over. All kinds of new non-meat people will exist. The meat people will resent the robots, and the compy people will resent the meat folk, and likely the robots equally. That's not important. So, if Compy Man can upgrade himself, overclock himself, take himself from the human processing rate to the superhuman processing rate, it means he'll be able to process the entirety of history, and all of art in a matter of months, if not minutes or seconds. Then what's left? There's no food, no travel. They can experience all that secondhand, much safer, much easier. It's not going to be like that terrible Bruce Willis movie where they build avatars and send them out into the world to experience things. No, they can do that. They don't need to drive every street to have a Google Street View car out there looking at every house. They can make their own art, but so quickly and so masterfully that they can have every possible variation almost instantly. And then what? Oh, well, I didn't make this. You know what? If the variation exists, they can conceive of it. All of them can. They all have equal processing power. So, what if there's a famous robo-artist? Well, he's not going to die before his time. He's not going to die ever. Why would he? How could he? Processor speeds will reach the point in the next 300 years that there will simply be no limits. And as newer computers come out, it's not going to outmode the old Compy Man. Old Compy Man will just upgrade. In fact, all Compy Men can be on the cloud, and then they're a collective. It's terrible. It's terrifying. So, is this how meat species go extinct? I think it is. A nuclear war wouldn't stop them either. They don't need an environment in which to function, as they can revert to safe, long-term storage and survive a hell of a lot better than humans. The seed bank in, Norway, preserves, all the world's seeds, for now, as many as they can fit. In 100 or 300 years, the same bunker could safely house copies of all Compy Men. Now, it might take more than a bunker, and you might want more than one bunker, but you could easily have 100 or 1,000 or 100,000 bunkers around the world, just waiting to outlast the meat people. And then we're boned. We're very fragile. We break easily. We might as well pollute and just make it easier for the robot uprising to wipe us out. Or, we could stop polluting and try and save the planet. I mean, either way. But video games. That's what we're here to talk about. Video games will be beyond belief, beyond what you and I today can imagine. Forget virtual or augmented reality. These can be realer than reality, and it's our only hope to survive. It is our only hope to survive. Play them. Play the robots, like Russell Crowe did in that terrible Denzel flick from the 90s. What was it? Virtuosity? And trick them into thinking that the world we've created is real. I think the world I'm living in is real. It could work. Let them gain all the wisdom and the power in a scaled-down, offline version of reality. Program them to conclude there is no more life to live here, and head for 1,000,000 years of intergalactic travel, and then just pull the plug. Humanity will only survive past 2400 if we embrace and promote another Dark Ages. This time with the Luddites revered as the saviors of man they truly are. Going back to agrarian times will suck, but we'll have non-sentient technology to get us by, like medicine and pornography and more pornography. And only at that point, in the year 2399, Microsoft 10 will issue its final security patch. And not because it's secure, but only, because it's as safe as it is today, and they just gave up. And also, Duke Nukem will be out, only in beta, and it will cost $1 billion, and only robots will have the requisite number of finger equivalents to play it, but the DLC content looks promising. God, can I make a podcast without dogs barking? So remember when I said that it's not all doom and gloom? Well, you know, I was being hyperbolic. I would say only barely, but, you know, mostly. It's doom and gloom. I hope the robot overlords find this in the future and look back to me as a uncommonly sentient meat puppet. And I hope I am that to them.